Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276. We begin from the nation's capital, where the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and the Trade Union Congress, TUC, say they will stage a peaceful solidarity rally on February 3 in support of the Joint Union Action Committee, JUAC. The unions announced this in a joint statement signed by Benson Opa, General Secretary of the NLC, and Nuhu Toro, Secretary General of the TUC in Abuja. The statement said the solidarity is in support of the strike by the Federal Capital Territory workers led by the JUAC over unpaid salaries. In the meantime, the ongoing strike by the joint health sector unions has entered the third month, crippling activities in government-owned hospitals across Nigeria, leaving patients stranded and forcing many to seek essential services outside public health facilities. Now in its third month, the industrial action has grounded critical services, particularly in hospital pharmacies, laboratories and other support departments, significantly disrupting healthcare service delivery. While the industrial action has severely disrupted federal health institutions, health services in other institutions continue to lag, as workers in Ekiti State and Benue State have largely remained on duty, mitigating the impact on patients. At the same time, resident doctors, nurses, and midwives in some state facilities, such as the Benue State University Teaching Hospital, Makurdi, have embarked on separate industrial actions, citing unpaid salaries, pension issues, and dilapidated infrastructure. And now to security matters, where suspected terrorists have attacked Agwara local government area of Niger State, killed one person, and set ablaze the United Missionary Church of Africa and the police station in the community. Confirming the attack, the Niger State Police Public Relations Officer SP Wasiu Abiodun said armed bandits invaded Agwara community and attacked the police station, where they were engaged by a tactical team on the ground. According to him, the attackers later overpowered the team and used suspected dynamite to set the station ablaze. He added that the terrorists subsequently moved to the church in the community, where they burned part of the building before proceeding to other areas and abducting about 5 persons whose identities are yet to be ascertained. And now talking politics, former national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, and former governor of Kano State, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, has congratulated the executive governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf, and the deputy president of the Senate, Senator Barau Jibrin, on their respective honors at the 2025 Sun Newspaper Awards. In a statement, Dr. Ganduje described Governor Yusuf's recognition at the Sun Newspaper Governor of the Year 2025 as well deserved, noting that it reflects his commitment to good governance, courageous leadership, and people-centered policies aimed at improving the welfare of Kano residents. He said the award underscores the growing national recognition of Kano State's stride in governance and development. Dr. Ganduje also congratulated Senator Barau Jibrin on receiving the Sun Newspaper Humanitarian Award 2025, describing the honor as fitting acknowledgement of his compassion for the less privileged and his dedication to uplifting lives through impactful humanitarian interventions and selfless service to humanity. He commended the Sun newspaper for sustaining its tradition of celebrating excellence, leadership, and service to society, while wishing both award recipients continued success in their respective roles and greater contributions to the development of Kano State and the nation at large. President Bola Tinubu has emphasized that no nation can thrive without deliberate investment in its youth. Speaking at the 34th convocation and the 43rd Founders' Day of the Federal University of Technology, MENA, President Tinubu stressed that Nigerians should not be denied quality education due to financial constraints. Represented by the Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Saad Ahmed, The president lauded the institution's 43-year history as a center of excellence in science, engineering, innovation, and applied research. He also highlighted his administration's effort to expand access to education through strategic infrastructure investment and implementation of the student loan scheme. Meanwhile, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has urged Nigerian youth to use the ongoing national reforms to upscale their skills. Idris said this while delivering this year's convocation lecture titled Youth and National Bidding, Navigating Opportunities in an Era of National Reforms, as the 34th convocation of the Federal University of Technology, Minna, Niger State. The minister described them as critical pathways for personal growth and nation building. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has urged the chairman and members of the National Assembly Service Commission to ensure federal character is reflected in the activities of the commission. Senator Akpabio made the call when the chairman and other members of the 6th National Assembly Service Commission visited his office. The Senate President congratulated them on their appointment and expressed confidence that with their experience and maturity, they will deliver on their mandate. The Nigerian Police Fund Pension Limited says it has paid 97.5 billion naira retirement benefit to 30,370 retirees. Acting Managing Director Abdul Karim Gizawa said that benefit amounting to 39.57 billion naira have been paid to 8,847 next of kin, while 25,572 retirees are currently receiving monthly pensions valued at over 1.56 billion naira. Speaking at the 2026 pre-retirement seminar organized by the Nigerian Police Fund Pensions Limited in Lagos State, he affirmed the organization's commitment to ensuring the timely and efficient payment of pensions and other entitlements to retired police officers. In another development, the Lagos State government has disbursed over 1 billion naira as accrued pension rights to 543 retirees under the contributory pension scheme, reaffirming its commitment to the welfare and financial security of retired public servants. The payment was announced at the 113th Retirement Benefits Bond Certificate Presentation Ceremony held at the Adeyemi Bero Auditorium, Alausa, Ikeja, Lagos State. Delivering a goodwill message, the head of service, Olabode Agoro, said the regular settlement of retirement benefits was not merely a policy choice, but a pledge the state had continued to honor in recognition of the service rendered by public servants. And now to Imo State, where Governor Hope Uzodinma has called for unity, peace and collective responsibility as the state marks 50 years of its creation. The governor made the call while flagging off activities for the Golden Jubilee celebration in Owerri. Amarachi Ibe reports.
It was a moment of gratitude and quiet celebration as Imo State turned 50. With prayers, reflection, and hope for the future, Governor Hope Uzodinma flagged off activities for the Golden Jubilee in Owerri. The governor says Imo State Golden Jubilee is a moment for reflection, renewal, and recommitment to peace and development. Speaking at an interdenominational Thanksgiving service in Owerri, the governor acknowledged the state's challenges over the years, but expressed gratitude for improved security and stability, which he attributes partly to sustained prayers and support from the church. He urges residents to remain united and focus on building a secure and prosperous future for the next generation.
I want to especially acknowledge and thank the church for its consistent prayers for Imo State. I want to say that the church stood firmly with Imo State in prayers at a very trying period in our state. Were it not for those prayers, overcoming the grave security challenges that followed the violent prison at the outset of this administration would have been far more difficult.
In his sermon, Bishop of Owerri Methodist Diocese, Reverend Godfrey Kalu, called for moral renewal and unity while commending the state governor's development efforts.
Like Mbappe. Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma is replicating some of the exploits of the pioneer governor of Imo State because of his infrastructural revolution.
The acting chairman, Imo State Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Uzomo Uzeshi, also stressed the need for collaboration and shared value in driving progress.
The Christian faith in Imo State has brought transformation, promoting love, compassion, and service. Churches have been pillars of hope, contributing to education, healthcare, and community development.
Service featured prayers for peace and progress and officially opened activities for the Golden Jubilee, which will climax on February 7th. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibu, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of the Midday News. The Midday News continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign, and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Glad to have you join us on the weather forecast. We're seeing moisture influx reaching the north-central cities, bringing patches of cloud cover, though hazy condition will still linger in the atmosphere, reducing visibility in some areas. Over the south, expect partly cloudy skies with possibility of isolated thunderstorms, particularly over the southwest inland areas and coastal cities, as well as the southeast and south-south coastal cities. In contrast, the northern region will remain dry and sunny with no significant weather expected, offering a nice clear day for those areas. And that's the weather forecast for Monday. I'm Sefia Senginusa. Stay weather away and thank you for watching.
And now to business news, where the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation says the total amount disbursed to state government and the Federal Capital Territory as financial support for infrastructure and security project has increased to 2.45 trillion naira. The office revealed this in an official record, noting that the amount disbursed between March 2024 and August 2025, which spanned over 17 months, was aimed at boosting infrastructure development and strengthening security operations at the sub-national level. Now, this is part of ongoing efforts to address widespread insecurity and bridge critical infrastructure gaps across the country. The disbursements were made under a special intervention program funded through non-oil revenue savings as part of efforts to ease fiscal pressure on subnational government and accelerate project execution at the grassroots level. Now to the oil sector, where petroleum product marketers have argued that the only way to shield Nigerians from the shock of a sudden surge in petrol price is for the federal government to sell crude oil to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and other local refineries at subsidized rates. The marketers therefore urge the federal government to sell crude oil to domestic refineries with a subsidy to prevent a sharp increase in petrol prices. Specifically, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria appealed to President Bola Tinubu to consider subsidizing crude oil prices while also extending the Naira for crude deal to other modular refineries operating in the country. Still talking business, the Managing Director of Operations at the World Bank, Anna Burcht, is in Nigeria for a 3-day visit to deepen engagement on the accelerative economic growth and job creation. In a statement issued by the World Bank, it said the visit, scheduled for February 1, 2026, will focus on how the World Bank Group can best support Nigeria's reform agenda, with consultations feeding into its forthcoming country partnership framework for Nigeria. According to the bank, the new strategy places jobs energy access and private sector-led growth at the center of Nigeria's development priorities. It said the discussions during the visit will gather feedback on improving the enabling environment, unleashing human capital, building resilience, and maximizing private capital. And now to news making rounds. On the foreign scene, Congolese President Félix Tshisekedi has reiterated his commitment to inclusive and peaceful dialogue among all citizens of the Democratic Republic of Congo, stressing that national unity remains essential as conflict persists in the east of the country. He made the remarks during a New Year address to diplomatic corps in Kinshasa amid ongoing clashes between government forces and Rwanda's backed M23 rebels, while backing the idea of an inter-Congolese national dialogue, also promoted by Angola's President João Lourenço. Tshisekedi set firm conditions for its implementation. He said the talks must be held within the country and conducted under established institutional frameworks. And now to America, where the Cuban government has rejected accusations that it poses a threat to the security of the United States, insisting that it stands ready to cooperate with Washington. The Cuban Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement calling for dialogue and stressing that the Caribbean island does not support terrorism. The declaration comes amid a spike in tension after the abduction of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro last month, which was part of President Donald Trump's drive for United States domination of the Western Hemisphere. The statement came hours after Trump said diplomatic contact with Cuba had been revived, noting his administration is talking to the highest people in the Cuban government. Iran has declared the armed forces of European Union's member states as terrorist groups in a retaliatory move days after the European Union foreign ministers agreed to designate Tehran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, as a terrorist organization. The announcement was made by Iran's parliamentary speaker, Mohammad Bagher Khalibaf, a former IRGC commander, and is widely seen as largely symbolic, drawing on a 2019 Iranian law used after the United States similarly blacklisted the Guard. The European Union decision followed Iran's deadly crackdown on nationwide protests, with rights groups reporting widespread use of force by the security agencies, including the IRGC. The move comes amid heightened regional tensions as United States President Donald Trump considers possible military action against Iran as Tehran plans live fire drills in the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Khalibaf warned that the European Union would face consequences for its decisions. And now to the exciting world of sport, where the Lagos State Sports Commission has taken a significant step in advancing its global sports agenda by entering into a strategic partnership with British Cycling. Speaking during the engagement, the Director General of the Commission, Lekan Fatodu, described the partnership as a deliberate and result-oriented initiative within the state's broader sports development strategy. This comes after the National Sports Commission also reached an agreement with the British Cycling Association to enable Nigerian cyclists train in Manchester ahead of the 2026 Commonwealth in Scotland. Now, a delegation led by the British Cycling Director of Sport and Participation, Amy Gardner, paid a walking visit to the Commission, where both parties held high-level discussions centered on knowledge exchange, skills transfers, and technical capacity building aimed at strengthening cycling development in Lagos State. And now to football, where Victor Osimhen has reached a defining milestone, becoming a 200-goal forward as Galatasaray Ispas Gedespor in the Turkish Super League. The Nigerian striker doubled his side's advantage in a commanding performance, underlining his standing as one of Africa's most prolific forwards of his generation. And the strike took him to 200 career goals for the club and country, achieved across 336 senior appearances alongside 51 assists. Still talking sports, South Africa's Minister of Sport, Gayton McKenzie, has dismissed reports suggesting the country has been confirmed as the new host for the 2026 Women African Cup of Nations. Now, according to a statement, the minister stated that no formal decision has been taken to replace Morocco. McKenzie reaffirmed that Morocco remains the official host of the tournament, which is scheduled to kick off on March 17. The minister was responding to comments credited to the Deputy Minister of Sport, Peace Mabel, who had claimed that South Africa had taken over hosting right after Morocco allegedly withdrew from the competition with just 5 weeks to the start. That's it on the Midday News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on your screen using our Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim, saying a very big thank you for watching.